Welcome back, everybody. Let's get to the next video, the Barack Obama Presidency, Part 2. Vocabulary for the day. Quite a few here, so read through them, work to understand them, and then proceed on. Shortly after the start of Obama's presidency, there is basically a new Republican wing that comes about, and it's called the Tea Party. It's the Tea Party movement, and it emerges as early in President Obama's first presidency. So if you think about what happened early in his presidency with the ARRA and healthcare reform, this group, the Tea Party movement, sees big government, and this creates a movement to try and suppress big government. They state they want to reduce the size, they want to reduce the scope of the federal government. And what it leads to is a large turnover in congressional seats in 2010. As you take a look at the chart, you should notice here that you have this traditional Republican group, the old guard, if you will, and then this Tea Party caucus, this separate wing that is part of the Republican Party. This is the group that has that's a creation of the Tea Party movement, and then what you see here in the House of Representatives is there's quite a big chunk of Republicans compared to the number of Democrats. That is due to the Tea Party movement and its influence. In 2012, President Obama is up for re-election. His opponent, if you will, the Republican nominee for candidate is for president, the presidential candidate of 2012 for the Republicans is Mitt Romney. Part of what makes him unique is there haven't been many Mormons to make a presidential run, and he's the first to really make a serious run for the presidency. He is part of the old guard. He's still in politics today, and he runs up against Obama, but Obama does beat him. The election certainly shows that despite the Tea Party, despite that movement, despite the seats that were taken in 2010, still the nation is saying what Obama is doing is good, or at minimum, good enough to continue being president. At the time of the election, it is still the economy that is a major concern. So at around 2012, the economy is still in a recession. The United States is still in a recession. Unemployment is down to just under 8%. Keep in mind, it went up to 9%, and it's down to just under 8%. So it's better, but what the United States would like to get to, what a good unemployment number is 5% for this particular country. So there's not vast improvement despite some of the big changes that Obama had introduced, like the ARRA. One of the challenges also is that there are more and more manufacturing jobs in the United States that are not staying in the United States. It's one of the other things at play that's happening as the United States tries to rebound. Obama also has hopes to make changes. Environmentally speaking, he signs on to the 2015 Paris Climate Agreement, and you can see some of what it does there, like setting particular goals and industrialization being one of the big problems behind global warming. But maybe in addition, it's important to note that the importance of the plan and some economic plans that have been coming around, making their way, being signed by countries over the past 5 or maybe even 10 years now, is the idea of setting up concrete goals and working to meet them. And then secondly, environmental plans are often, and Obama was hit with this. Environmental plans are often hit with criticisms about how it will hurt the economy, and the signing on to this agreement is no different in that regard. Finally, we end with the social justice movement that comes about at the during President Obama's second term. And it starts, I guess maybe not his second term, but end of the first term with the killing of Trayvon Martin. That happens in Florida, and George Zimmerman is the shooter. He's a neighborhood watchman type person, and he called police, made police aware of Martin's presence in the neighborhood. And Zimmerman was even told by the police not to follow him anymore. He can be done. He continues anyway. He eventually confronts Martin and then shoots him. Zimmerman claims self defense and is eventually found not guilty. That's the essence of the story and what happened. But this incident becomes much bigger than just a story of what happened. It leads to a huge movement. The hoodie becomes a symbol because many felt that Trayvon Martin was shot because he's black and because he was wearing a hoodie, suggesting that he's trouble. Hey, so athletes and celebrities get behind this. They wear hoodies. Obama made a comment saying that could have been me. So that relationship to what happened and the movement that it starts ends up leading to the BLM movement, or the Black Lives Matter movement. Early, it just is a hashtag. It happens during the trial. But there's a lot of civil action taken during the time and in reaction to the killing, with organized marches, blocking streets, disrupting traffic, and then other nonviolent approaches. We even saw this here in Madison with the death of Tony Robinson. Um, it was a year late. It was multiple years later after Trayvon Martin, but it was closer and on the heels to other killings. Okay, so the BLM movement is going to grow, and the main reason it's going to grow is because there are more shootings, there are more killings. In July of 2014, Eric Garner suffocates, and he's suffocated by police action. And the slogan, I can't breathe, comes about because of that. Again, we do see athletes, celebrities kind of putting on shirts saying, I can't breathe. In August of 2014, just a month later, Michael Brown is shot and killed. November 2014, Tamir Rice, a 12-year-old, is shot and killed. And then the aforementioned Tony Robinson, shot and killed a year later. But what this does is it just picks up steam every time there's another incident. The um, the not the interest, but the need, the capacity for something to happen and for there to be justice grows and grows and grows. So some of the key issues are unjustified arrests, police brutality, police shootings, and then down the road, police trainings and questioning the trainings that police receive. We can even go to the militarization of the police, and then the divide between community and police in general. In 2016, There's a very significant action in the sports world taken by Colin Kaepernick, where he refuses to stand for the national anthem. The first time he does this, he sits on, I believe, just a bench on the sideline, but then he switches to kneeling during the national anthem. Multiple players will start to follow that lead later on. Teams will do something. Will take similar actions. Arguably, this cost Colin Kaepernick his job and arguably his career. His actions were, in a way, they turned tricky because he's kneeling to draw attention to injustice that is in the United States. But it becomes hard to deviate the Colin Kaepernick, quote, not standing for the national anthem, unquote, discussion, as opposed to the action leading to more discussion about injustice. Um, the BLM movement continues on to today. It's more organized than it was during this time, but nevertheless, this is where it is at the end of Obama's presidency. That's it for today. See you next time.